Cinema girl.
Cinema Squirrel.
Welcome.
We're back again.
Does this look weird?
Did it?
We might. That's in the frame. Okay, we're just kind of starting over, but anyway. Yeah, so should we get started?
Yes, and what did we see this week?
So this week we went to see the movie Twinless.
We did. Woo!
And, okay, so my policy on spoilers, if we want to just talk about that kind of thing. So my policy on spoilers is such, I hate spoilers so much that not only do I often not finish watching a trailer, sometimes I don't even want to look at the movie poster. Mm-hmm. And of course, as we will mention in the title of this video, this channel is going to do some spoilers. You know, our reviews are going to be spoilery,
right.
at least a little bit. So don't watch this if you feel like that. But I like surprises. And I feel like this movie was full of surprises.
Yes, it was. and maybe before we get into spoilers, we can just say, we like this. I like this.
See, we haven't talked yet.
We haven't talked.
We haven't talked. That's how we do it. We're not talking about it until we get right here. Okay.
Keeping it fresh.
We both liked it. Yeah, we both really liked this movie.
It was intense.
It was intense, yes. Can I start talking about some stuff?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Well, I was thinking about in college I took this Italian film class from this guy Fausto Paluzzi, who made us, when he made us think about movies, he said what the movie was about was an emotion and not about events. Like he was, you know, if he asked us what the movie was about, we were supposed to start with an emotion. And so, you know, thinking about that, you know, I just kind of want to say to him, if if he's still out there, I just really want to say, you know, C'è una farmacina qui vicino. Sorry, that's terrible. I'm being stupid.
We're getting fancy here, folks. Bilingual.
No, he was also my Italian teacher. But no, that I think this is a movie. To me, this is a movie about longing.
Yes.
Do you feel like that?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's these two guys, and one has been fascinated by twins his whole life, and one of them is a twin, and their lives intersect because of a hookup, the fairly emotionally intense hookup, and a subsequent ghosting that leads to an unfortunate accident that leads to a funeral where our two characters meet.
And we get to see that first, where it just looks like a stranger is coming up to our main character and giving him a hug at the funeral. And then it unfolds in quite spectacular fashion.
Yes.
The guy hugging him at the funeral.
Okay, so we're just going to tell them.
Is well, I know, we're just spoiling. Oh, my goodness, do we want to spoil it or not? Because it's so good. You really need to see it and see this thing unfold and be like, I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess in this movie, they're both ruminating over the loss of Rocky. Now, our two main characters it's James Sweeney, who plays Dennis, who is the writer, director, and he's starring in it. And then this guy, Dylan O'Brien, who plays Roman and Rocky, so he's the twin. Sort of later on, there's a Mary-Kate and Ashley reference, and I was thinking about how together they played one character, and Dylan O'Brien is playing two characters. Did you feel like he did a good job convincing you that he was two different people?
So much so that I didn't even realize when it switched to Rocky, I was like, man, they got an actor that looks like Roman. Oh, wait!
It's probably
Roman
the
with
same,
a mustache.
Probably the same guy, yeah.
So his acting was that good that, fooled me for a second. I was like, wow, that guy's really matching the... Oh, wait, it's him.
And
you got me, movie. That was some great acting.
And it's like they're both ruminating over the loss of the twin, Rocky. But it kind of seems like Roman, his twin, has been kind of sad about their relationship for a while. So maybe his loss of Rocky, literally he just died. So that's a loss, but it feels like he's been processing a distance between them for a long time. Meanwhile, you know, Dennis is new on the scene, just kind of met him. And but it got kind of obsessed with him. And you know, if you have ever lost someone and then you get to talk to someone in their family who has maybe similar looks, maybe similar cadence of speech, you kind of feel like you're sort of cheating death a little bit. You're sort of like courtesy phone to the afterlife. It's a freaky, freaky feeling. I have experienced this before. And it's comforting and strange. And it seems like Rocky, the twin who passes away in the movie, Rocky must have been extremely popular.
Yes.
And people just keep coming up to Roman and hugging him or speaking to him, not understanding that he's not Rocky, and taking comfort in him. And really, somewhere in there is how Dennis and Roman start being around each other more, because Dennis follows him to a twin, like a therapy group for someone who's lost a twin.
Right. Like, yeah, I was going to say, not self-help, but yeah, what would you call it? Like
a grief group or something?
Yeah, grief counseling group.
Yeah. But
so you are led to believe Dennis also had a twin at the start.
True. But he's also processing grief.
Yes.
Because as we find out, he participated accidentally in this demise of Rocky. And they are both, I just feel like both of these characters, they are sort of, Dennis and Roman, though, they're both kind of longing for this closeness, like this brotherly affection. It's like grocery store hangs and sports game arena, you know, arm around the shoulder, and just like familiar intimacy, understanding, like quiet belonging. And there are some twists in the story.
Oh, are there?
That had our hearts thumping.
Yes.
And there's kind of a web of lies that kind of has to be untangled.
And acting-wise, his name was Sweeney.
Yeah.
Jim?
Dennis? Oh, wait, James Sweeney? Yes.
James Sweeney. Jim. I call him Jim. We're close. Jim Sweeney.
At this point, we feel close.
He is, I mean, you magnificent bastard. Like, if you wrote, directed, and you starred in this and your acting was intense, I got scared for certain characters in the film at how intense Dennis was getting. It was kind of getting Glenn Close, Boiler Bunny kind of, woo, what's going to happen?
Yes,
Dennis,
totally.
don't do anything bad.
And at the same time, it was funny.
Yes.
Like, I definitely laughed out loud at certain times. Like, I think the dialogue is very specific, very well observed. Like, in these sort of ordinary moments, the things that are said rang very true, but sort of like stylized true. Like, your funniest friends are speaking. But it's also eerie and painful. And, you know, do we ever really get the sense if Rocky, the deceased twin, was a nice guy or not? Like,
that's a good question, because, yeah, we just see how he is with Dennis.
Right.
And then we see sort of a normal Rocky interacting with someone else and kind of like ghosting Dennis. And then things happen that are shocking. And you're like, that's it for Rocky. And we really just get to hear about Rocky from, Gilmore Girls star, Lauren Graham as the mom.
Yes,
she was great.
That was kind of, so I'm curious, how that, because when the movie first started and it just opens. This is the opening of it. You're looking at a restaurant front, and then you hear a crash. And I was like, oh, I feel like this has happened in other movies that weren't good. And I was like, oh no, what have we done? We've picked our movie of the week, and it's, starting with an off-camera crashing sound. And I was having flashbacks to other movies where it just wasn't such a great movie. This ended up being a great movie, and it was important that the crash happens off camera, because it there's mystery that gets gradually revealed,
right, and that's the thing. It does get good. Like I was worried about that too. It's a very slow burn at the start, and you're like, well, is this just going to be a sad movie about dealing with grief? And then the credits pop up very late in the game. You're like,
right.
the credits are starting? It's the start of the movie? It's been like 20 minutes. And then you realize, oh, because we are off and running. Oh my goodness. Twists and turns.
Right, and we have had like a little time jump in the storytelling.
Right.
And it's sort of like a little palate cleanser, like the credits. Ultimately, I think that these two characters, Dennis and Rocky, maybe are finding something in each other that they kind of weren't getting from Rocky. Something that's making them feel more whole in the end. And this is not to dump on Rocky. Rocky was just living his life, and trying his best, as I think, but the connection that I think Dennis and Roman are seeking, they really start finding in each other, which is why, as the web of lies unravels, as it naturally has to, there's pain in that, and it gets really intense. And Roman is carrying his own guilt and demons for maybe like the way he initially reacted to his brother when his brother came out, and that kind of shows up in the story in kind of intense ways.
I appreciated that at points, different points in the film, you are hearing from the twins, either in flashback or present day, that they each say the other twin is the best twin. I thought that was sweet, that everybody has flaws, and they felt that their flaws were bigger than the other twin, so the other twin was the best twin.
Right, and sometimes, people aren't going to say that to you, but they'll say it to someone else.
Yep.
And hearing it secondhand can be so healing, that like, wait, they said something nice about me. At an hour and 40 minutes, we once again, thank you, people making these kind of run times. And I felt like it was a fairly, to me, fast-paced movie. Like I was pretty much on the edge of my seat because, like you said, there are elements where you're like, wait, is this getting kind of like single white female, sort of like, what is going on? Is this going to be a horror movie or a rom-com or a buddy film? Like, you just weren't sure at times. And I appreciated that it kind of kept me on the edge of my seat.
It was kind of a mixture of all three, and in a good way. Not in a like, well, they just can't stick the landing on what does it want to be. No. It is a perfect mix of all of those. It's like tense, and you think, is this a horror film? And then something funny, and like, is this a comedy? Doesn't matter. It's great. I'm along for the ride. It's a great balance. Ooh, let's talk Marcy.
Okay.
I liked her character, and after seeing Honey Don't, and us reviewing Honey Don't, smart ladies working stuff out, and Marcy was a smart lady that worked stuff out. Kind of like the one guy does not want his lies to be unraveled in front of everyone. The other guy is kind of, well, not the brightest knife. What did he say? I'm not the brightest tool in the shed.
Right.
And that's true. So he's just seeing Dennis for face value, like he's a good guy. And Marcy's like, wait a second, everyone, I'm figuring stuff out for you.
And just very sort of like, kind of like calmly, just sort of like, wait, the person you've been small talking with this whole time is actually paying attention, is actually,
right.
I think there are a lot of introverts in this movie. It kind of is, I think, sort of an introvert story.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, there's a tendency to catalog information about other people. It's like you really are forming a file on them. And I don't know if it's like a way to just be ready for the next small talk, or a certain sense of like, hey, are we building an important connection here? Maybe we are. And I'm gonna keep my little whole file about you. But I think that Dennis wasn't really realizing just how much she's paying attention and how she just so easily is able to just knock over his little house of cards.
Right.
Which, you know, a little cautionary tale maybe here. But then again, you can't really start out a friendship admitting the role that you played.
Right. They're pretty big lies that you're like, hopefully nobody digs too deep, and it's not even digging too deep. It's just like scratching the paint off the surface going, that's such a lie.
Yeah, so this movie is kind of like, it is really different. Yeah. It's kind of weird. It's kind of intense. And very, yeah, just a very specific story. And I got drawn in, and I cared about the characters a lot.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard to care about characters, and these, I truly did care about them. And when Dennis is like watching that Mary-Kate and Ashley clip
right.
and like speaking the lines along with it, it's like, oh, you realize how much he has been longing for a twin. He's twinless.
Right.
As well as Roman now, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna give this full sheet cake.
I was gonna say, is this getting the full sheet cake?
I think it's getting the full sheet cake rating. Yes.
Deservedly so.
And by the way, I see that I was doing just making sure I was getting the names right. And James Sweeney also made the movie Straight Up, which I think we may have watched years ago. It's from 2019, and I recognize like the art, so I think it's one that we watched, but maybe it just wasn't quite as compelling as this one is. So
this one was compelling.
I would say, James Sweeney, you are on the trajectory here to make some super cool stuff. I'm going to be keeping an eye on what you're doing, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Squirrel, what's your rating?
I give it 5 Glenn Closes out of 5 Glenn Closes, and don't use that as misdirection, thinking, oh, it's another Fatal Attraction. No, it's not. Glenn Close is an excellent actor, so 5 out of 5 hers. It's great.
I was like, are there 5 different Glenn Closes that you are speaking of? Like
5 degrees of Glenn Close.
Is it like a Cruella de Vil? Was she that maybe? And then like
all the Glenn Closes.
And I don't know. I might be getting some of my Glenn Closes.
All the Glenn Closes out of Glenn Closes that you could possibly want. Like I said, slow start, you might be like, what? Where's this going? And then once it gets going, you're like, I cannot turn away.
So you're saying it's Glenn Close to perfect.
Oh, we're bringing the Glenn Close puns, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so Twinless, go see it. Go support it.
Go see it.
We saw it in Theater 7 at a Regal. We were like, where's 7? Where's 7?
Yeah, tucked away.
We wanted to take our picture from the poster. There wasn't a poster. One of the reasons why we picked this was like, hey, this might be a smaller movie up against like some other bigger releases this particular date, and we want to support things like that. We want to spread the word. I'm so glad we picked this. It was so just enjoyable and really unforgettable. So, Twinless. Go check it out.